So Jess, why did you become a realtor?
I worked in various customer service jobs, so I wanted something a little bit more rewarding. Becoming a real estate agent, being able to help people find their forever homes or their investment homes, starter homes. It's very exciting, so a lot of fun.
Now, you've gotten off to a really good start in your real estate career. What has been the most rewarding part of this for you so far?
Helping people, especially like first-time home buyers, finding their first home. They're so excited. I'm so excited to help them. So it's a nice, rewarding part.
What is it that you think makes you different than other real estate agents?
I think that my various roles in customer service has helped me. So I like to ask a lot of questions and I want to know what I'm doing. So I think that helps a lot because I'm not going to steer people the wrong way. I'm going to make sure they have knowledgeable decisions and help them find the right home.
Last thing I'm going to ask you is, and I know these are words that you live by, but the mantra at CTBD Realty is?
People over paychecks, you do the damn thing.
And that's what we do.
Clovercrest Media Group presents a CMG podcast, Keys to the City.
Keys to the city, baby. When you see us, so you know.
Crossed up by Kobe, little floater to Shaq, and then Shaq goes like this, and the rest is history. Pay attention. Don't tell me what to do, devil woman. Speaking of those Lakers, but I hold on, stun. But I didn't make my. I didn't make. I said Denver's gonna win. Yeah, you did. You said that.
There's no other show like that. Clovercrest is doing great things right now.
Streaming everywhere.
The Giants are running New York like the Times as Danny is dropping all sorts of dimes. Saquon's thighs are ruining defenses' lives and Leonard Williams making opposing QBs feel him. Receivers think it's scary to line up across James Bradbury, and the Giants have a bright future led by Coach Judge, Jury, and Executioner. Tune in to Drawing About the GMen every Wednesday at 6, live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Drawing About the G-Men, the Giants football podcast. I'm your host, Big Jace, joined by Joe Guire, Sean Scanlon, and Kingsley. And boy, oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about a terrible performance Monday night by the Giants leads to offensive coordinator Jason Garrett getting fired. Yeah, I'm applauding that. I've been calling for this man's head all year, and it's despicable. A lot of the Giants aren't going to win. Everyone is throwing a lot of hate. The Daniel Jones haters are back out after that performance, but you're not going to win a football game with Daniel Jones dropping back and throwing 38 times. Plus the O-line. Will Hernandez looked terrible. Even that sack with Ndamukong Suh where Will Hernandez just blew it. If you look at it, it goes on Jason Garrett, because if you look at it, there were three guys in the middle of three Giants in the middle of the field, focused not on where the ball is going, not on where Daniel Jones. They're focused on not running into one another. That's on Jason Garrett. And the play calling. The run game, not even you have Saquon Barkley back and you're barely getting him touches. That's ridiculous. I'm glad Jason Garrett's gone. Hopefully this can move and we can move on, get things going. Hopefully Freddie Kitchens can call it better, be more aggressive, make more of those less conservative, and get the Giants offense going, because we've seen glimpses. They played really bad last week. On Monday, but we've seen glimpses of what they can do. And the two targets to Kenny Golladay. You spend all this money in two targets to Kenny Golladay. It was despicable. I'm glad Jason Garrett's gone, but now, Joe, a lot of people. Jason Garrett's still gone, but everyone's still calling for Gettleman's head. Do you think that's deserving?
Look, I'll be straight honest with you. this performance is part of the bigger picture problem here for the Giants. I mean, they're just not good. They haven't been good. They haven't done a proper rebuild literally since Eli Manning became the starting quarterback. It's been just throw whatever you can get at the problem and see if that can get you 8 wins, and it usually doesn't. And that's a problem. I thought during the game I was talking to some people and I was like, what the hell is this? Well, I don't even understand. I didn't understand what was the idea of the offense? Like what he pulled. I mean, I didn't think they were so much conservative as it was confusing. They would run just nothing really flowed. Nothing made sense. And then they didn't really seem to know what they were doing. They ran the ball 13 times. I don't understand. Saquon Barkley shouldn't be in the game if he's a decoy. He's a terrible blocker. Does you no good if he's out there. I don't like that idea. If he's not ready to really be in the offense, then go with Devontae Booker only. I mean, you got those sort of options. So I don't know. They got to get rid of everybody. And whether Joe Judge, I mean, I don't care about that. Whoever gets hired can figure that out. But now that you got this clown out of town, it's a nice start. But again, I think the bigger problem here is it is taken Joe Judge all this time to realize that his offense is god awful and can't score points in a league where you got to score points. They're one of the only teams that doesn't score points. No one scored less touchdowns in the last 2 years than the Giants. Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people still think Joe Judge is great. I don't get that. Like, what is this guy supposed to be? Is he an offensive-minded genius? Or he's a great leader, the master of discipline? I haven't seen any of those things. So what is he, like a special teams guru? Because even that doesn't look hot at times. So somebody help me out here. I'd like to see them clean house, bring in people that know what they're doing, and try to actually put together a football team that can have some sort of sustained success. Because, listen, outside of 85 through 92, the Giants have sucked since 1964. Take your couple Eli Super Bowls, Sean. I'm telling you, flip through the almanac. It's 6-10, 7-9, 6-10, 11-5. Oh, we're good. 7-9, 6-10, 4-12. When does this end? When's the rebuild? We're going to blow this up? We're going to figure it out. It can't just be people that are friends of your dad's. Like, let's get real here and let's have a real organization, because this is embarrassing. And every time the Giants meet any team that's even on anywhere on the north side of elite, they get embarrassed. They don't belong on the field with teams like that. Dallas, the Rams, embarrassing. Give me a break.
No. Yeah, I mean, despicable performance. I know, Zay, we talked a little bit after posting up last night. You mentioned 15 days and Joe Judge didn't have them ready. So, I mean, you still got Joe Judge on your hot seat?
Yeah, he's been on my hot seat since the beginning of the year. I've said it from the beginning. I don't think Joe Judge has a feel for football or has a feel for the game in general. Sometimes you see him there and the Giants are just completely not in any position to put themselves in any way to win the game when you watch him. Sometimes, like I said, some of the offensive, like Joe said, to know that your offense is terrible and we're in week 12 and you're just now realizing this is baffling. It is. You've done this for almost now a year and a half. And I've told you people, I said it before, I don't want Joe Judge. I've wanted Eric Bieniemy. I think he could be someone who could come in and inject maybe something into that offense and make it something special, similar to what they're doing in Arizona with Jesus Christ, Kingsbury, yes. And that offense over there, which they've gotten going, it looked crappy at first the last year, but now it's looked a lot better. You even put backup quarterbacks like Colt McCoy in there, who's won games. He couldn't win nothing for us. So let's go with that. So I really think it comes down to getting rid of him, bringing in somebody who knows what they're doing. Joe Judge, again, he's not a New York guy. I hate to say he's not a New York guy. When you go into press conferences and you ask him questions, he beats around the bush. He can't ever give you a straight up answer. He's never to the point, and I think that's part of the issue. And you see it in his coaching because the players just seem like they never get to the point. They seem like they never understand. So it makes sense because we'll watch a post game conference, and like I said, he couldn't even break down the firing of the offensive coordinator properly to us and who was going to be the new person calling the plays. It's going to be a collective agreement. There's no direction. There's no one in charge. Everyone is just throwing in their input, and this is the mess that you have in New York. Until the Giants can find one voice, one leader, someone who isn't, like Joe said, from this family of Giant ex-coaches or Giant ex-players or teammates or something like that, the Giants have to go out of house, bring in somebody who has a fresh idea, someone who can bring in a brand new culture and attitude into this team. Because like Joe said, it's been pitiful. And we just have to sit here and continue to watch it until someone makes the decisions, because unlike Green Bay, we are just the fans. We don't actually have no input on our team. And if we did, Joe Judge would have been gone. I'm pretty sure Jason Garrett would have never came in because, again, he can't explain to you how Jason Garrett got hired. When they ask him how did he get hired, he goes, we brought him in. He can't give you a straight-up answer. And I don't like that. I don't like a guy who can't give me a straight-up answer. I want someone who's going to tell me, can we win? Yes or no. I don't want to say, well, we'll get down there and we'll see how the other team plays and we'll see what they put out there on the field and we'll whoop you. No, I don't want to hear all that. I want to hear, are we going to go out there and dominate or not? And he cannot give us a straight answer. He hasn't given us a straight answer since he's been here. It's been nothing but excuses. It's time for him to go. I'm sorry.
All right. I mean, Sean, I know you called Freddie Kitchens coming in at OC like weeks ago. You said he can't be that much worse than Jason Garrett. So what are you expecting? How do you feel after all this?
I mean, it's definitely an upgrade from Jason Garrett. I mean, we talked about Jason Garrett's offense. It's like he's in the 1980s. He doesn't know. I mean, he just doesn't, fit the game plan to his players' strengths. Obviously, we talk about Daniel Jones. He's a great deep ball thrower, except we're throwing all underneath routes and stuff like that. Kadarius Toney is electric with the ball in his hands, except, we don't give him the ball in, creative ways. Kenny Golladay, our big, free agency guy that we gave a whole bunch of money to, is only getting 2 targets. His first and only catch of the game was on that first drive, and we don't throw it to him again. Saquon Barkley comes back. He only gets 3 carries in the first half. So, I mean, it's just inexcusable. Freddie Kitchens, obviously his tenure as a head coach wasn't great for that 1 year in Cleveland, but when he did take over the play calling the year before, I mean, he did do pretty good with that Browns team. So I expect him as a play caller to be much better than Jason Garrett. I think that, he definitely feels the pressure on him, knowing that he's coming into this job with, pretty much it's an audition for him to keep the job as the Giants offensive coordinator. It's Joe Judge telling him, we have a couple weeks left in the season. Let's try and turn this offense around. So I think Freddie Kitchens is going to get that. I think he's going to try and be more creative than Jason Garrett ever was. And I mean, like Zay said, Joe Judge didn't have an answer for why Jason Garrett was hired. And I think it all comes back to John Mara being stubborn and bringing in guys that, used to be linked to the Giants. Obviously, Jason Garrett used to play for the Giants. They have a good relationship. So the decision making by John Mara has been terrible. They bring back Dave Gettleman, who's, he's in the older part of his career. I mean, it didn't work out in Carolina when we bring him in just because he was with the Giants before. So we have to think outside of the box. We can't just keep regurgitating these, people that have history and ties with the Giants just because John Mara feels comfortable with them. At some point, I mean, I said it in the Clovercrest group chat that we have, another 2 years, another house cleaning for the Giants. This is going to be, Joe Judge hasn't been announced fired yet, but I would be pretty surprised if he wasn't. If it keeps going at this rate, it'd be another 2 years, another Giants new head coach, and I think Gettleman has to go too. So it's a frustrating loss. Obviously, this team has just been in turmoil for the past 6 years now. We can't get out of our own way. So it's I don't know what the answer is, but we can't just keep building on the fly. We can't keep throwing out a bunch of money in free agency like we did this year. In 2016, giving out all those huge contracts, and then a year later we go 3-13. So at some point you really have to tear it down. Keep some of the players that are going to be building blocks moving forward, like Andrew Thomas, Xavier McKinney, Azeez Ojulari, and everyone else is expandable. I mean, I know I'm still a fan of Daniel Jones. I think that he could be the answer, but he needs to prove something these next couple of weeks because he has had a decent season, but there have been some games where it's gotten out of hand, like the Rams game, the Buccaneers on Monday, where you see that old Daniel Jones coming back where he can't protect the ball. When the pocket breaks down, he gets a little shaken up, and he makes poor decisions. So obviously he hasn't had the best of luck with his receivers and playmakers being healthy, and his offensive line has been great around him, but still at some point you have to score points and you have to make plays. So I'm glad Joe Judge did make this move because I think that something needs to change. Hopefully this offense can start putting up some points in these next couple of weeks, but if not, I think that you're gonna have to clean house. Yeah, I wish, Anthony. That's wishful thinking.
I'm the resident Giants optimist on this show, and
really, I never noticed.
But I will pick the Giants to win. I don't think they will though. But I will say here with this. I just want to see what they look like next week. I mean, before we start talking about blowing everything up, Jason Garrett, the biggest problem all year has been the.
Let's get real.
I am.
Okay.
No, there's talent on the team.
Hold on. I've seen it.
Right.
I've seen it. May I just give me the floor for a minute and let me explain. Freddie Kitchens is going to come in. He's auditioning for a job. Now, is he concerned about showing off Daniel Jones and how great Daniel Jones is? No, right? Freddie just wants to show that he can do some things. Maybe he takes the development really seriously with Daniel Jones. That would be great. My fear, again, is what this whole Jason Garrett thing has been. And as this team falls further and further into a deficit, you have to run an offense that shows you if Daniel Jones is the answer or not. It's why I said against the Raiders when they had some time in the second half to do some stuff, you guys are like, wins. Who cares about the wins at this point? They're so few and far between because they don't score enough. He still has no chemistry with the receivers. That's a fact. The playbook was a disaster. It's going to be the same playbook that Freddie Kitchens uses this coming week is the other problem. So now Freddie's got to figure out they need a flow to this offense.
Yeah.
You're either going to give the ball to Saquon 10 times or you're going to feed it to this guy and then start working the deep ball to Galladay. Getting the ball into Evan Ingram's hands. Move the ball. Drive the football. Stop trying to get to the 40 so you can punt. This defense has had about as much as they can take. The lack of pressure against Tom Brady was
bad.
Really bad. Patrick Graham seems to be escaping the wrath of everybody at this point, but
hold on, because I will get into
30,
that.
Dude, that's 30 points. That's 30 points.
The offense also couldn't stay in the field.
Without two of your best defenders. Your two captains. You lost Morgan Ryan.
Stop.
You don't have your Blake Martinez all year.
They're insulting me. I'm aware of this.
Andrew, bro. No, I'm
aware of all of those things. But where do the Giants play? Is it in the NFL?
He hasn't had a
NFL.
He hasn't had a pass.
Do they play in the NFL? Does this team have a serious lack of depth?
Yes.
When Ojulari doesn't get to the quarterback, that means generally nobody gets to the quarterback. That's virtually where we are right now. We live and die by whether Leonard Williams is on fire or whether he's just clogging up the middle.
Again,
I understand, dude. Blake Martinez being out, Peppers being it's been a rough go, but it's the NFL. You have to adjust. You have to be able to do things. That zone they were running, I mean, every scout I read after that game was like, dude, the Giants could not have made it any easier for Tom Brady.
No, yeah.
What were they doing? Let Tom what? You want Tom Brady to go on like a 12-play, 85-yard drive? Eat up the clock so you lose by less? Play some defense. Blitz for crying out loud. The Giants can't rush 3 because they cannot pressure the quarterback. Stop it. I understand they're missing key pieces, but then you have to do something else. Do something that works.
But Joe, it isn't like
it's woeful ignorance, Jace, and it's been what you guys have been living through your whole lives as Giants fans because you don't know what you're talking about because you got 2 Super Bowls. Oh, we're good. Think about the years between the 2 Super Bowls, guys. How'd that go?
I'm not saying they were good.
Before, it was bad. It was bad.
How many teams in the NFL could you do that for and break down how many bad years they had in between Super Bowls?
The Steelers.
Hold on. Let's do it. Let's do the Cowboys.
Let's go toe-to-toe with the Steelers. Let's go toe-to-toe with the Cowboys.
They have great season, but what is it translated to? We can break down any team the way we want to. They haven't won since 95, but yet you can go from 95 to now.
5 Super Bowls, and the Steelers have 6.
Again,
so what is your argument?
Again, they haven't won anything since. My argument is you can have.
But they've won it in the 70s, in the 90s, in the 2000s, and we're very boop.
Again, I'd rather have an 8-8 year and win a Super Bowl than 11-5 and losing the first round of playoffs like the Cowboys do. That's just me. Again, we can see it 2 different ways. That's just how I prefer.
It took Lawrence Taylor to get the Giants to a Super Bowl twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
It took Michael Strahan and another amazing defense to get the Giants back to Super Bowls. How many 85 Bears defenses do you think the Giants are capable of churning out? Again, you got to start playing real football. This is not the 70s. It's not the 80s. The Giants have to start playing an offense. And listen, here's the best part about climate change, if I could. If we can indulge ourselves in one of the benefits to climate change is suddenly in New Jersey in December, pretty sweet outside. You can throw the football. You don't have to just pound the ball because it starts snowing in October. That doesn't happen anymore.
But again, what is your point? Again, you can, like you said, you want to bring up the Bears, another team. They went to 1 Super Bowl recently since they've had their great 85 Bears. They haven't done anything else. Their seasons have been terrible. We can go through tons of teams and break them down the same way we break down the Giants. The Giants aren't that bad. You want to go back a couple weeks ago? Yes, we were upset because they didn't run enough. You were upset they didn't run enough plays against
mediocrity.
You were upset that they didn't run.
Joe, not every team can get a dynasty.
You guys have become complacent in your satisfied.
How many dynasties are there in the NFL? There's three teams you can put at that top as far as the dynasty goes.
These are excuses for teams that
30 teams in the NFL, and there are 2 dynasties you're complaining about.
Let's bring it back to here.
Listen, I lived through a real dynasty on the Giants. You guys never have. You have no idea what sustained success is like for your NFL team. You have never seen it. You don't know what it feels like to team's going to win.
Through 2006 to 2012, we were. That's pretty much the same timeline that.
I'm not going to argue with
you. Every year during those years, the question was, what kind of team we're going to see from the Giants? You just never knew.
Joe,
it was all led by the defense, but the offense from the time period I'm talking about was far superior.
Joe, you always talk about Giants football, right? What is Giants football? Daniel Jones is a Giants quarterback. He's not necessarily. He doesn't have to be a Patrick Mahomes. That's
I like Daniel
Giants
Jones.
Football isn't Giants football. It isn't a dynasty. It isn't just that isn't Giants football. Just dominating.
You need
for
to
years
be set up for sustained success. Let's compare to the Patriots. You want to do that? That's fun.
No, because they're a dynasty. The Giants have never been a dynasty.
Do you remember the Rams in the early 2000s with Warner and Falk? Do you remember that?
That only came away with one Super Bowl.
Doesn't matter. Dude, the
How
Bills
is that a
lost
dynasty? How is that a dynasty if you come away with one Super
Dynasty
Bowl?
requires
I don't
three
know.
championships at
Tell
least.
me about the Buffalo Bills from
That
1980.
lost 4 straight Super Bowls?
Yes. It's one of the greatest teams of all time.
You call them a dynasty? You have to finish the job at some point, Joe.
5 Hall of Famers on that team. Tell
There
me
was
how
much
bad
more
they
Hall
were.
of Famers on the Giants in
Tell me
their
how
year.
bad they were. Go ahead. Talk about how bad that team was.
I'm just saying you can't call them a
I think
dynasty
Jim
when they
Kelly
didn't
has
win
brain
any
cancer
Super Bowls.
too. No, you can still say that. I subscribe to my. Listen, ESPN doesn't set the parameters for what a dynasty is.
Dynasty needs at least multiple championships.
You
That
can't be a
doesn't-
dynasty and win one
I-
championship. That
I
doesn't consider
disagree.
yourself a dynasty.
I think going to four straight Super
wait.
Bowls and to be the only team before, after, and since to do it.
You sound like
speaks
Zay
volume.
right now, Joe.
The Bills are a dynasty.
Are you
the Bills are a
serious?
dynasty in the 90s.
Dude,
the Bills are a dynasty in the 90s.
Let me tell you something.
Listen,
The Bills had
Not-
great
there
teams.
was
They're not a dynasty.
nobody in the AFC could hang with the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, and then when they got to the
that
Super Bowl,
team
they got
was-
spanked
You
every
think
year.
the Chiefs the last couple of years have been good, dude? The Bills would have ran circles around them.
Chiefs won the Super Bowl.
cool. Well, this is the NFL.
Big deal. Big deal.
Listen,
Big deal. One game.
listen. We need
I'd
to-
rather go there 4 times than just win one.
You
Listen.
make the argument
And,
that the
all
Giants
right.
don't have good records. You go from 06 to 2012. The Giants were either 8-8 or better in those records. In 07, they were 12-4.
Oh wait was their best team, and they didn't even.
I get. 08 was their best team, and they didn't win the Super Bowl that year. So, but we've never seen sustained good Giants football, Sean.
No,
worries.
you haven't. I watched 14-2 seasons, 13-3, 12-4, 11-5. Every year the Giants won the division. The Giants every single year were the favorites in the East. You guys have never seen that. I'm telling you, you've never seen it. You know why I know? Because I lived through it too.
Those are hard to come by.
I live in a world where the Cowboys are favorite every year.
It's
They
not
never
hard
win.
to come by.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
How long?
There's not a lot of. There's maybe like
to do
5
that?
teams that have
Bro,
like
guys,
30
guys,
years
guys,
sustained success.
she's got a
It's
truly hard
ridiculous.
salsa somewhere.
Listen.
He's off one today.
Listen.
Something's wrong. You can't have a dynasty that doesn't win a Super Bowl. That doesn't
19
make sense.
winning seasons since 1964 is a huge problem for me.
Joe,
Okay.
I don't disagree
This
with
team,
that.
this team rarely has a winning record. If you go through the analogs of the Giants' records, you know what you're going to see over and over again? 6-10, 6-10, 6-10,
The 60s and
7
70s
and 9,
were bad. And the
11 and
recent stuff
5,
has been
6 and
bad.
10, 6 and 10. I'm tired of it. Tired of it.
That's Giants football.
We deserve better than that. That's not Giants football. Giants football is not to be 6 and 10.
No, and then
Apparently it is. That's what you just said.
You
That's
got
what
to
you're
be better
saying,
than that.
Joe.
It's
But
time
listen.
to step it up.
again.
Yes, it is.
To 2012, you had 8-8. You had 12-4. You had 9-7 in there. You had great years in there.
Ooh,
What are
9
you
and
talking about?
7. Whoa.
12-4 was in there too in
The
08.
Giants can do better, and you guys know it.
Yes, they can.
They definitely
do
could.
better.
There's
But,
no
I mean,
reason
We could
why
also
you
be
guys
the Browns.
should,
We
you
could
guys should
also
not
we could be
accept
the
the
Bears.
mediocrity.
Okay, all right.
I'm not accepting
We're
it. I'm
not.
just
No
saying
one's
there's
not accepting
Defending it, that's accepting it.
no from
No.
2013 through now we've been god awful except for one season. I realize that, but before that you can't say from like 2006 to 2012 that
Nobody picked the Giants to win the Super Bowl any of those years.
Does it matter? Who
So
ended up
cares?
winning?
Who
Yeah,
cares?
no, it
What
doesn't.
does that
And
matter?
You care about more. You care more about favorites and odds than you do with actual results.
I don't care about being America's
legacy
team. That's the
and
Dallas's
tradition.
job, being America's team. They don't win
All right,
anything because of it.
going into 2 Super Bowls and beating the GOAT, that's not a legacy.
18 wins, 1 giant
Yeah.
loss.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay,
the
so
story ends up
I
being
don't-
more about Brady than it is about the Giants. That's so unfortunate.
Whatever. I think no one's arguing with you that the Giants are struggling. No one's arguing that the Giants are mediocre. It
The
was
Giants
really
have
the
mostly been trash for a
Yes,
long time,
yes.
and I think it's time
But
that the
they're
fans
able
say
to win Super
we're not
Bowls
enough of
when they're
this.
trash.
That real.
They're able to figure it out eventually and get it. But listen, I want to wrap
John
this up.
Mara
and
needs
then
to
we'll
sell
move
the
on.
team. Zay, go tell
Yes.
John Mara to sell that
yes.
team.
I wouldn't be.
I agree.
I'm not
Right now.
upset with that take. But the thing is that everyone's talking about like I said before, this is the first step. The Jason Garrett firing, that's step one. Let's see what's going on here, because you got talent. Gettleman, everyone likes to crap on Gettleman. He's brought talent in. They haven't been healthy all the time, but there's talent on this team. Let's see what they can do with a different play caller, and let's see what happens there. Then you can start talking about other stuff, because Sean was right. You fire Gettleman, someone else new is going to come in, and that's just from the Giants, from the that has a connection with the Giants, and then we're going to get back to everything else. And I mean, same with Joe Judge. It's just going to be a mess, and we're just going to end up 2 years later. We're going to 2 years later, and we're going to end up having another new coach and everything. It's going to be a mess because we're going to just keep doing the same stuff. I just want to see what the Giants can do without Jason Garrett, because look at what the Dallas Cowboys have done without him. So I think I can have a little bit.
That's what Kellen Moore being a good offensive coordinator.
I don't know. Is it though?
Knowing to do with that.
He didn't call plays when he was.
He did
coaching
in the beginning.
the Cowboys.
Before Kellen Moore,
for the first couple years.
Before Kellen Moore, he called plays in the beginning. Yeah,
yes, he did. And then Jerry Jones took plays calling away from him and gave it to Kellen Moore at the end of his road there. But let's just see what goes on. Everyone's getting.
Sounds like fake
also,
news.
you're talking. That's the
we
truth.
should read that at GiantsFanboy.com.
But also, you talked about the defense.
And the Jets for
You're talking about the defense is so bad after this week. The past three.
Jeez, they got to stop giving up 30 points.
I understand that. But you're acting like it's so far-fetched that they can play well. Like the 3 weeks prior, they weren't playing well.
I told you they were going to give up 30 points to a team that averages 30 points.
You
and
said
you said they wouldn't.
You said it would be 20.
Yeah, he said 24.
So I don't know.
Do you know what I said? Do you know what I said on our pregame show when I wasn't being on a biased Giant show? I said the score was going to be 30-10.
Well,
go back and watch the tape.
Is on that question here then, Joe?
30 to 10.
I was trying to be. You know what happens? I hang out with you guys, and I'm like, oh, all right, stupid me. Yeah, I'll go with it. Maybe the Giants will pull it off.
He gets
I knew what was going to happen. I woke up that morning, and I thought 30-10. Won't even
Joe,
be close.
just lean into the heel. Lean into the heel. I'll be the face. You'll be the heel, and Zay and Sean can be neutral.
I love the Giants more than you do because you're happy with the mediocrity, and I want better.
I'm not happy with the mediocrity. No one's happy here, Joe. No one's happy here, but I just want to see what they can do. They made a move that should have been done a while ago, and
and everybody who failed to make that, everybody who failed to make that decision should be terminated.
Zay had
including Zay. He's out.
Zay had enough of you, Joe.
I asked him to go talk to John Mara.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I think he's getting on the phone with him now.
Let's move on.
He's going to run downtown.
They
go to the same barber.
All right, Philly. I mean, everyone's so terrible game against the Bucks. Bucks are a good team. I've been saying this all year. Giants play terrible against Super Bowl contenders, i.e. the Cowboys game, the Rams game, and now the Bucks game. Philadelphia, middle of the pack team. I think will be a close one. Joe, how do you see it play now?
I've thrown some money on this game. That's how confident I am that the Eagles are going to score it's going to be 30-8, something like that, if I had to guess. Dude, Jalen Hurts is good all of a sudden. I thought he was I thought that guy was going to be garbage. All of a sudden, they're comparing him to Lamar Jackson, and the numbers are pretty staggering at this point. This team got off to a terrible start. They're starting to win games. They're doing what the Giants haven't been able to do. And so kudos to the Eagles. And I hate to say it, but I just don't see them. I don't see the Giants after the effort against the Buccaneers turning around, having an amazing short week of practice. Somehow after failing to execute after 2 weeks of practice, that a 4-day work week's going to help them get it all done. Are you guys kidding me? Really? You think it's going to be better?
Well, I don't think it's going to be 30-8.
No. But last
27-8.
Last year, after the Giants fired
24-8.
That's better.
Whatever. But after last year, after the Giants fired Colombo, the Giants went on a tear, right? They won like 4 or 5 in a row, correct? Now they fired Jason Garrett. Sean, can they light that same spark that they did last year with this?
I didn't even think about that, but you bring up a great point, Chase. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think they're going to be better on offense this game. I think that, like I said before, I think Freddie Kitchens is just going to have to devise a great game plan. I think that he's not going to be conservative. I think that he'll be more creative. So I think it will be a better game. I think the Eagles are going to end up pulling it out. I don't think it's going to be a blowout because I think this defense will bounce back. The defense usually sits in a zone and Tom Brady tore them apart, but I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to do that as a passer. I think that they might have some trouble with him against the run, but I think that they'll still get the job done pretty well. Not as bad as it was against the Bucs defensively. And I expect this offense to put up a decent amount of points. I don't think they'll get to the 30 range, but I see it being a close game. I think the Eagles will pull it out late, but I think probably somewhere around 24 to 23. I think the Giants lose a good old fashioned heartbreaking loss at the last second, like the Giants do. So yeah, that's pretty much what I expect from this game.
I just wanted to mention a quick courtesy to on your Colombo information that comes right from firejasongarrett.net.
What?
Okay. Dude, I mean, listen, I like your conspiracy theory. So last year they got rid of Garrett's whooping boy, who obviously wasn't getting along with people in the locker room because him and Garrett are the betas, right? And Freddie Kitchens and Joe Judge and the other guys were all over here Team Alpha, right? And so they got rid of Colombo, and suddenly Garrett was all on his own.
That's not at all what I'm saying, Joe.
And so as soon as they got rid of Colombo, they were like, "Yeah, Garrett, how do you like this?" Duh! Is that what you're suggesting?
When there is a change, there's a new breath of fresh air, a new life in the locker room. People play better. People feel like this is their second chance. I feel like this is going to be the game we see the offense start to click and everything starts going good. I do expect the Giants to go over 30 this week. I do think
on the time of possession.
No, I think they're going to score. I think they are going to score points here because Jason Garrett, the play calling, like you said, you had no clue what was going on. Nothing made sense. I don't understand what that was with your hair, but
you know what it is.
Listen, I think they're going to be.
You think the Giants are going to score 30 points?
Yes.
Is this a hair bet?
Oh,
okay. I will do another hair bet.
Yeah,
I will shave my head again. But no. But
I win either way because if the Giants score 30 points, I'll be thrilled.
Yes.
Although I'll also lose a money bet as well as a hair bet.
But damn. But
I hope they scored 29 in a big win.
I think Freddie Kitchens. They're going to take the risk they need to, like you were talking about in the Oakland game. And also, I mean, look at Oakland. Speaking of, I mean, I keep calling Oakland, Las Vegas. Look at the Raiders game. Like you were saying, they weren't taking it. They were just running the football, eating up clock, conserving the win. I think they'll play like you want them to play out here against Philadelphia. And Philadelphia's defense isn't anything to write home about. I do think the defensive line scares me. Getting pressure on Daniel Jones scares me a little bit. But I think Freddie Kitchens will give him more of the green light to run. And I think we won't have situations like last week, like on Monday, where even though everyone's coming, all three of your check down guys are in the same position and trying not to run into one another. But I will say that I don't know. Oh, also Las Vegas. Look at what they did when they fired Gruden. They went on this run. You play around, you rally around,
and then they hit a brick wall, and they're terrible.
That's true. But so the Giants after Colombo, they hit a brick wall when they played the Browns, right? But so I do think Philadelphia's defense isn't that great. The only thing I'm scared about is Jalen Hurts and that run game. I do think Tay Crowder and Reggie Ragland are going to struggle to stop the run. It's really going to have to come down to Leonard Williams and Quincy Roche's been playing great. I do got to say that was a great pickup. He needs to. I see the future for him, and he's a beast. He's been playing great. He's been stepping up every week. We need that from Azeez Ojulari, and I hope he can do it. But the thing that scares me is the run game, and I just don't. I'm really scared to see how they get pressure on the quarterback because I don't think they can. This Eagles defense last week was dominant. I mean, O-line that last week was dominant, controlled the line of scrimmage. So that's really what scares me. But I do expect Jalen Hurts to throw an interception or two, make some mistakes in the pass game. But I have faith in this Giants offense under Freddie Kitchens because I did not trust Jason Garrett. I have faith in Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones has been playing great. I mean, besides the 2 games against 2 Super Bowl contenders, he's been playing really good. And I don't think Freddie Kitchens is going to put him in a situation where he's dropped back 38 times because that's not going to get it done. And I do think Saquon Barkley is going to have a big game against that Philadelphia Eagles.
The Giants really do struggle with quarterbacks that get out of the pocket. Jalen Hurts is really good at doing that. Miles Sanders is back. He had actually a pretty decent game in his bounce back, unlike Saquon Barkley, who was a decoy all night. So I think I'm more concerned about the Eagles scoring 40 points, to be honest with you, since things are...
How are you going to score 40 points from the football, Joe? You don't got a Jonathan Taylor in the backfield. They don't got. Have you been watching them? They're really good. No,
they're really good.
I do. That's why I say I'm scared.
I wouldn't say really good.
I'm not scared of their pass game.
Yeah, I wasn't either. I didn't think they were going to be very good, but I'm telling you, he's a good quarterback, and he's been playing really well, and they've been scoring a lot of points. They lit up the Colts.
I think. This Giants offense, we are going to see a different Giants offense. I'm saying that. I mean,
dude,
100%.
Listen, if they had 15 more days to practice, I would feel better about this. But
I don't. We saw that against the Bucks. It didn't help out much.
It's a short week though. Like, you want them to get everything situated in like 3 practices and a walkthrough.
Yes, because if anything, that carries over the momentum from having this new guy.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, I want that too, but I'm saying, is that realistic to think they could pull that off when they couldn't do it in 16 days?
Yes, because they're not playing the Bucks this week. They're playing the Eagles.
Yeah. The Eagles have been playing better. They're nowhere near the level of the Bucks.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I just... You know what pisses me off most about Giants fans, especially you, Joe, is like one bad week, everything's back in the toilet. Everyone, you get high.
I said the same thing last week that this organization has been garbage for a long time.
No, you've been saying that.
And I said it the week before that. Listen, I'm as optimistic as the next guy. I hope the Giants end up winning 6 games so we can go 9-8 or whatever it is and missed a wild card and have like the 17th pick, whatever. That would be great too. I like when the Giants win, Jace. I do, but I want them to win more. I want them to be favorites.
No,
I want the Giants. Yeah, you got to understand again, dude, from 85 to 91. I mean, the Giants were like talked about in the NFL. It was to be envied. Okay. Lawrence Taylor, obviously, you guys know this revolutionized the game. Yes. The Giants' defense was that impactful. The Giants, again, that stretch of time, their records were always great. 13-3, 14-2, 12-4, 11-5. 87 was a bad year. It's the strike, 6-9. But I think the Scrubs were 0-7 before they came back on. So. Anyway, that doesn't matter. My point is the Giants really just they haven't enjoyed sustained success. And when you just try to patchwork, you're going to get the occasional 11-5 like you did in 2016. And then you're going to go back to being really garbage. And I think it would be a better idea for the Giants to look to build this thing long term And you do that by getting rid of someone like Dave Gettleman.
No, you don't.
And
you
you bring in somebody. You bring in somebody who understands football in the year 2021, or at least somebody who understands football from the 20th century period. Okay, he's not good. Most of what he done is bad.
Gettleman?
And I feel bad about it because I like the guy. He seems like a nice fella, the cancer, and I was pulling for him.
I don't know, man.
I hope he enjoys retirement. I mean, he's a good dude, but he's made some bad choices.
All right,
and listen, it's not his fault. It's not his fault in a lot of these cases, but it falls on him.
It kind of is.
What bad?
Well, you're right. It is his fault. I didn't want to be mean.
Give me an example of the bad choices.
Saquon, bad choice.
Bringing back Eli, giving Nate Solder the biggest contract of any offensive tackle.
All right, but what about his good choices?
His
good stuff.
Drafting DeAndre Baker in the first round. That whole draft, pretty much.
Bad. That was just.
Drafting
handled that terribly.
Dexter Lawrence at 17. Dexter Lawrence is a good player. He's also a 2-down lineman that can't stay on the field for third downs and doesn't give you any pass rush. So that just doesn't fit a middle round pick. So there's a lot to pick on. The past two drafts have been pretty solid, but other than that, the other drafts haven't been great. Giving out all these contracts to older players that don't give you anything. There's a lot to choose from.
And again, this team just lacks depth. I understand Blake Martinez is a hard guy to replace, but that's been rough. Was the last guy of the 2019 draft, is that really the guy you want calling your defense? Probably not.
He actually hasn't been too bad. It's been Reggie Ragland.
I like him. He's played, it seems to me, and I only see this a few times a game, but there always seems at some point to be some confusion.
For sure.
And maybe that was the case with Blake Martinez. Maybe I just didn't notice it. But I always feel like, especially with him and Ragland, there always seems to be some kind of like, what? Nobody knows what they're – I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. That's what I see, though, and it drives me nuts. I want them to be good. I do. I love the Giants. I'm sad. My heart's bleeding. Blue.
Okay. All right. Well, all right, I think we need to take a break.
Enough talking about this crappy team.
I'm sorry I've angered you.
I mean, you haven't. I mean, it's just we just see it two different ways.
You said I pissed you off. So that makes you sound angry.
No. I mean, Giants fans pissed me off, not you. Giants fans pissed me off.
I have to run the tape back. I'm pretty sure he said Giants fans, especially like you.
I said like you. Yes.
Yeah.
Giants fans like you, not necessarily
like you, not you.
Not me specifically.
Yeah.
But people just exactly who think and look and act like me.
You.
I just said, okay. We're taking a break. We'll be right back.
It's been a pretty wet summer in Connecticut, and that means more mosquitoes than ever. If you didn't have your home service for mosquito control and find you're spending most of your time outside swatting those little pests, you are in luck. Mosquito Shield of Central Connecticut provides the best value in mosquito control services because of how they treat your yard using the Mosquito Shield tailored treatment system. They don't use a fixed schedule or an identical product, one-size-fits-all service program because you can't control mosquitoes on a set number of sprays or visits. Unlike the competition, Mosquito Shield of Central Connecticut will service you for the season, whatever it takes to provide superior results. This promise has awarded them an industry-leading consumer retention rating of 90%. Visit MosquitoShieldCT.com to schedule an appointment with Wade DeCesare and enjoy the rest of your summer mosquito-free.
Big shout out to Mosquito Shield for sponsoring this show. Make sure you check them out, Mosquito Shield CT. When you sign up for their services, tell them John about the GMen and Clovercrest Media sent you, and they'll hook you up with a discount for this upcoming spring. But now, this week, tomorrow, Thanksgiving, you got the food, you got the turkey, and most importantly, you got the football on Thanksgiving. And what are you most thankful for about the Giants? I know we just talked a lot of crap about them. What are you most thankful for about the Giants and football in general this year? Joe?
That they haven't been kept off the field because of COVID, I guess. I like watching the Giants. I do. Even when they're terrible, I just wish they weren't. And I don't think that's, that's not too much. I'm thankful that Jason Garrett's gone. I think that's definitely going to help. I'm grateful that I put money on the Eagles this week. I feel like that's going to pay off, literally, in terms of cash. I'm thankful that Daniel Jones is on the Giants because I really do think he could be a really good Giants quarterback, and I think that fans who don't understand the Giants. I think this guy knows how to play quarterback. I think if you like Joe Judge said, I think if you put him in position to be successful, to make plays, he's going to do it. I've been saying this for weeks, man. They got to put the football in his hands and let him go and do some stuff.
Yeah. All right. I like that, Joe. Very eloquent. Sean,
thank you.
What are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for the parting gifts for Dave Gettleman, as hopefully he'll be leaving after the season. I think the last two drafts, especially in the first two rounds, have been great. Andrew Thomas, we get our left tackle for the future. First round last year, then we get Xavier McKinney, who's probably been our best player on defense, most consistent all year long. He's a ball hawk, comes up and makes plays in the run game too. He's a physical safety. So those two from last year, and then this year, Kadarius Toney, when he's been on the field, he's been absolutely electric. One of the shiftiest players in the NFL right now already as a rookie. And then our second round pick, Azeez Ojulari, who, I mean, we obviously don't have any semblance of pass rush, but if there is one player to point to, I think Ojulari is definitely that guy. So I think over the past two drafts, hopefully, fingers crossed, if this is the end of the Gettleman era, I think he gave us some good parting gifts to leave while he leaves with our first 2-round picks of the past 2 years. So I think that even though we do need actual rebuild at some point, we need to tear everything down. I think those are 4 players that we definitely hold on to on their rookie contracts and try and build around.
All right. I too am thankful for Jason Garrett being fired. I too am thankful for Andrew Thomas being a beast. He also was wearing the same number I wore in high school, so I love that.
He's catching touchdowns too.
He is also catching touchdowns. That was great seeing that.
It was a snag.
Yeah, and I am also thankful for Daniel Jones. I mean, as much hate as this man has gotten, he is still – I mean – everyone's going to have those bad games. Everyone is. And this year, there's been a lot fewer of them in the past. I mean, you're seeing progression this year. And a lot of those games where he's looked bad, a lot of that you can put on Jason Garrett. So I'm excited to see what he can do this week and what he can do without Jason Garrett, because I think it will be something different. But
I think you have lofty expectations.
Yeah, and I should. I want the Giants to succeed. I should expect this. I should expect them to change. I should expect them that Daniel Jones is going to come out and play better because Jason Garrett sucked. You should expect that from your team. And that's what's going to happen.
Well, I've been told.
Because my expectations are going to turn into reality. So, all right, now taking a break. Now jumping off the Giants. Just football in general this year, Joe. What are you thankful for? Just around the league.
I like the fact that everybody sucks every week. That nobody's really been able to seize it. It's funny on Keys to the City today. We did our top 10s, and combined we had 13 total teams involved in the top 10s. And I thought each of us made a really good. We each had a different 10th team, and all made a pretty compelling argument for that team. And I think that there's 15 teams right now, I think that legitimately could start playing better, get hot, and are in it. So is it out of the realm of possibility that these weirdo Giants do one of those weird second half, win a bunch of it always tends to happen. Who knows? But I am thankful that the Chiefs are terrible. I know they've been playing a little bit better. Calm your horses. I'm telling
Chiefs
you.
are back.
I don't think they're back. I think that team's still pretty flawed, and I think that's great for the NFL. The Buffalo Bills are falling to pieces. That's a real problem.
They stink.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I think there's great parity right now in the NFL. I think because the Chiefs are slightly flawed. And I think that, that's a wounded duck. So I think somebody could put them out. I think that it'd be nice to see the Chargers step their game up. I know everybody loves Justin Herbert. I'd be thankful if he could do something cool and blow them out of the water and win that division. How about that?
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. I love Justin Herbert. Sean, what are you most thankful for?
Joe pretty much said it. Mine was the unpredictability of the season, just the fact that most years, you have an idea of who's going to be a contender, who's going to be, top 4, maybe 5 teams that could contend for a Super Bowl. This year, it's been all over the place. The Cowboys have an absolute stinker. The Chiefs started off slow, but now they look better. The Bills haven't been great. Colts are playing hot at the right time. The Rams, you don't really know. Cardinals, they've been playing well without Kyler Murray. So I think there's 4 or 5 teams in each conference that really could go on a run. The Patriots, they've been red hot lately. I think that's my favorite thing is, like Joe said, the parity in the league right now. It's definitely it's a toss up for each conference. So when you don't know, heading into the last couple of weeks, who's going to be favorites for the Super Bowl, I think that it just makes it more fun watching football because you don't know what you're going to expect every week and any given Sunday. So that's been my favorite part of the season.
I should also mention I'm thankful for Mac Jones fulfilling my prophecies. I did say he was going to be the best of the bunch, and he's been everything I said he would be and more. And I'm glad everybody else on the planet has caught up to me, even Patriots fans.
Yeah. Mac Jones has been playing great. Well, their defense has also been playing great. I will say we'll put Steve Risser on the spot here. He put it all on the defense earlier on Sports Talk with R&J. Make sure you check that out, everyone.
See, the problem when you do that is then you open us up to the Eli argument about how good Eli Manning was or wasn't. You can never, as a Giants fan, be on the idea that, listen, like I said before, if I'm to believe that the Giants have 4 Super Bowls because they've had 4 of the greatest defensive units of all time, really? Come on. That's just not reality. The Chicago Bears only won 1 Super Bowl with, that defense was together for about 6 or 7 years. 1. It was a great, great defense, one of the greatest of all time. So, I don't know. You need an offense, and you need to be able to score, and you need to be able to complete passes.
Yeah.
Eli was amazing in crunch time. He was a great fourth quarter quarterback. He played Giants football, which was don't score points, keep it close, and we'll win it late when the defense makes a stop. I hate that. Let's try something different. It's better for our blood pressure collectively as a group.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, dude, think about the weather. Think about the weather the last 10 years or so. In New York, you get days in January where it's like 58. The days of terrible weather at the Meadowlands, that's not a thing really as much anymore.
Dude, you're jinxing it. It's going to snow.
I definitely am not, because the hole in the ozone layer is getting bigger as we sit here and discuss it. So that's not even up for debate. What is the Giants have much more temporal conditions in December and potentially in January if you get there. So it's time to bring your offense into the 21st century. You got to get the ball to Kadarius Toney. Everything I've been reading and seeing all day the last couple of days is the Giants are stupid. Jason Garrett didn't know what to do with this Swiss Army knife of a talented human being. This guy could be doing so much stuff. And again, Saquon is a decoy. Come on, what are we doing? Let's get everybody involved and let's see what we got here, because this season is pretty much shot. Like, there's no room for error. Another loss and you're done.
Yeah.
I don't think the game plans go in there and can't lose. You got to go in there and just, balls to the walls here. What do we got? What could we do? Go forward on 4th and 5. Who gives a crap? You're going to lose. But run an offense, have some rhythm, build around somebody or something. Daniel Jones throwing 39 times to 13 runs for what are you doing? That's
You're right.
I love Daniel Jones, but I want him to throw the ball about 24 times and no more than that.
Yeah, and that's why.
I want 12 of those to be to Kenny Galladay.
I don't know about 12.
12.
A lot.
I want 12 in his direction.
He should be he's the number one. You brought him in, paid him, then wide receiver 1 month.
Feed him. Let them, I'm telling you, you set everybody up, dude, up and down the field. But if they don't start opening this thing up, and we have to drag through the rest of the season and not know what Daniel Jones can or can't do, how does that help next season? It doesn't.
That's why they fired Jason Garrett, because Freddie Kitchens is going to open it up. That's why.
Did they say that, or are you assuming that? Because Joe Judge didn't say anything even remotely close to that.
Well, Joe Judge never says anything.
Because he's an idiot and a terrible head coach, but you guys disagree with me.
Well, I wanted to move on.
I don't disagree.
And we're still
then move on.
No,
you want to know what I'm thankful for? I'm thankful that Garrett's gone, and I think
when I was talking about
I think a front office bloodbath is coming. That's what I'm thankful for.
What you just said 45 minutes ago. But listen.
Well, you asked.
The parody. I didn't know. You just cut me off. But all right, you're right. Parody, that's big. For me, though, I am thankful for. I mean, Joe, we're both on throwing jabs, right?
Yeah.
We know the fight game, and how everyone's pressuring. How a guy like Terrence Bud Crawford isn't marketable because he doesn't talk crap or do this or throw dollies at buses. But I respect the NFL for their sanctity of the sport and all the taunting calls and making it so that the little children.
What the hell are you talking about?
The little children watching.
Are you
the
serious?
Game.
You're not.
No, you're not. I'm not. But I mean, your football. What is when they're all on the field? What is it? Would they play a game? It's a game. You're supposed to go out there, have fun.
Yeah.
So if there is a little bit of taunt, if you look back while you're running down the field to score a touchdown, yeah, have them be a little bit of fun. And
let me tell you something. If I got one chance to score a touchdown right now, I would high step from the 15-yard line in.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, I mean, it's your moment. You got to have it. But, I mean, yeah, and the fight game, they need to learn from.
And then I'd probably do like the icky shuffle.
What about a little salsa with the cruise?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, yeah, the salsa dance. Oh, okay. All right.
I love that. I mean, listen, that's what this sport's about. It's a game. It's having fun. You know, I think if you knock a guy down and he goes to get up and you put your crotch over his head, I think that should be a penalty. You know what I mean? I think if you turn and look at the sideline of the team that you used to be on that cut you and you just look for a minute and turn, I don't understand why that's a taunting penalty. A glaring look at your ex-lover, is that a crime? I don't think so.
But yeah. I will say, I mean, you brought up that crotch in the face. I will tell a story. One time in high school, I pancaked a guy 20 yards down the field. I drove him, and his helmet came off. And because his helmet came off, I just put my crotch right in his face, just teabagged him. Because, I mean, I just made him my bitch, you know. But, all right. Yeah.
Well, that was an unfortunate story. Thank you for telling it. Clearly a Thanksgiving Eve kind of a story to tell.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Was it the Thanksgiving? It might have been our Thanksgiving Day game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember.
That was not the was not the story I thought you were going to tell.
No, I mean you brought up knocking a guy down, putting the crotch in the face. I mean,
yeah, but you brought up the teabagging part. That was more than anyone needed to think about.
All right. Well, it is Thanksgiving. We're all thankful for football and the Giants, even though they're struggling. We still love the Giants, right, Joe? So we still got to be thankful for them. But all right, let's take another break, and we'll be back with best bets and fantasy stocks.
Do you have a 401k and some savings for future retirement, but you don't even know if it's enough to live off of? How much is enough? And how often do you think about it? The team at JPEX Financial Group can help set your mind at ease. We specialize in creating strategies, doing the planning and managing of your financial, educational, and investment needs. We help clients pursue their investment goals with sound financial strategies. You deserve a personal, tailored plan. Lasting, meaningful, and open relationships are the foundation of our practice. You've worked hard for your money and should feel confident with your investment choices as you make decisions for your financial future. Your goals are our goals. We are dedicated to your needs and hopes for your future. Visit our website or give us a call at 860-430-5397.
All right, let's get into best bets. And another terrible week. It's 2 weeks in a row we're going 0 for 4. This week, I mean, I guess makes a lot of sense because, I mean, Sean, Zay, and I were all on the Giants, and the Giants played. I mean, we all know. We talked about the Giants.
Who did I have?
You had Dallas, Joe. You had Dallas.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
The last time I listened to Mike Greenberg.
All right. Let's get into best bets. Let's start off with you, Sean. You got the Dogs, the Colts, getting it done at home against the Bucks.
Are you serious? You don't really think this is going to happen, do you?
Colts are hot right now.
I know, but
Colts are hot right now. The Bucks have not been good on the road, so even if they do end up winning this game, I believe that it will be a close game. Jonathan Taylor is on a roll right now. So, I think that the Colts will definitely cover this game. I think that their defense will hold up pretty well against the Bucks. Passing attack, they have a good secondary. They have a pretty good pass rush with DeForest Buckner up front. So, I see the Colts getting this done, and I think the Colts will actually win outright, if I'm being honest. So, I like them -3. I think this, and I'm a 2-game losing streak, so hasn't been great. I mean, we're all on 2-game losing streaks, I guess. But
I got 2 words for you, buddy. 2 words. Tom Brady.
Okay.
Cool. The Bucks suck against the spread this year.
Wait, one more word. GOAT.
Okay.
What? Where's Lawrence Taylor?
I love that. Thank you. No, you're right. LT.
All right. Joe, then I got 3 words for you then.
What is it? Jonathan
Taylor, MVP.
I thought you were going to say Jonathan Taylor Thomas, the actor from Home Improvement.
No, I was not going to say Jonathan Taylor Thomas. But I mean, we talked a lot about it already, Joe. I mean, Eagles.
Oh, God.
-3.5. So you think?
I did put money on this game because I want to win money. And I feel like this was the safest bet on the schedule. I thought was that the Eagles would beat the Giants by at least a field goal and a half. So I'm pretty sure they'll beat them by, again, I'd say double digits, with the first one being a 2 or a 3, and the second one being an 8 or a 9. I'm just kidding. But I do think the Giants are going to lose. I think they need a week. I think am I wrong that the short week is problematic? Even with Freddie Kitchens probably making the calls, they've got to get like a lot of stuff figured out in like 2.5 days. I don't know. I just don't feel like. I mean, it's
not a third, or it's not like they are playing on Thursday night. It's not like a 3-day. I mean, it's only 1 day less playing on Monday Night Football. And we just saw that 2.5 weeks didn't really help them out. So why not why not give him a short rest? Maybe that will be better.
It's not even the rest that I'm concerned about. I'm more concerned about will they have time to practice and get, because you got to run a practice. You got to run those plays again where there's some flow to it. What's the game plan? Who are we feeding off of?
Well, they were doing that all year.
I had no idea they were going to fire Jason Garrett in the morning. I mean, what do I know? I'm no expert. Maybe I am, but I don't think I am. I texted the Keys brothers during the game, and I was like, what's the game plan? I don't even understand what's happening. It was weird. It seemed like the highest level of incompetent coaching I've ever seen in my life. Like the Giants, nothing was right about that. It was stunning. So my thought is what are they going to figure out in the next 4 days that's going to give you a different result against your arch enemy who's playing well?
If anything,
who's got a quarterback who is going to give you fits outside the pocket?
I mean, if anything, you've seen the Eagles before. You know who the Eagles are. So, I mean, I know they got a new coach. This is the first time meeting. So, that's the only – but, I mean, the Eagles are the Eagles, right? So
I just thought about this is Joe Judge's first revenge game, too, after last year when they took out Jalen Hurts and put in Nick Sudfeld. You didn't think about that, did you, Joe?
No, but maybe they'll end up putting Sudfeld in this week when they're up 38-9.
All right. I mean,
whatever. Enough of that.
We've talked, way too much on this show.
Oh, I'm so terrible. I hope it doesn't happen. I said that.
Yeah, I don't want to mush your bet, Joe, but I hope you lose money this week.
I do too.
Yeah. All right. For me, I got Giants. Vikings on the road against 49ers, +3. I think the Vikings went outright, carry the high from the big win last week. Finally getting Justin Jefferson acclimated to the offense. I think that continues. Also, the 49ers, only one win at home. They're one of the worst home teams in the league. So, yeah, I got the Vikings. Get Dalvin Cook going. Get Justin Jefferson involved more.
Anybody else trade Kirk Cousins for like a third-round draft pick, and now you see he's got 21 touchdowns and 2 picks?
He's having a pretty good year.
He's having a year. Boy, I said he was a bum for a long time. He's always been just like slightly above the mediocre mark.
He's just very average. It's not that he's bad. He's just not like an elite.
But kind of like Derek Carr. I think he's fine, like kind of coming into his own and like, less mistakes, more success. And, I think if you invest in a quarterback like that, I mean, you get the sort of progression year after year, you end up with a mature quarterback who starts to make a lot fewer mistakes. And again, you score more points that way.
Yeah. And I mean, they can turn this, they're already on a 2-game win streak. They can turn this onto a playoff push. This could be them getting hot at the right time. They got the Niners, Lions, Steelers, Bears twice, and then Rams and Packers, which they already beat the Packers. But the Rams, that could be another good game. But yeah, I think this is where they start to push for the playoffs, and I think they're going to get the win right here. I mean, even if they still play teams close, regardless. So even if this could be a 1-point game, so +3, I'll take the Vikes. But and Zay went against his New York Jets, even with their starting QB, Zach Wilson, back. He's taking Tyrod Taylor and the Texans to get it done.
Hey, I won some money on the Texans last week.
Yeah. I remember before throwing jabs, you said, I'll put some money on the Texans. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? But hey, it worked out.
I'm surprised no one took Patriots are favored by 7 against the Titans. I thought that number was way too big. But I felt like it was a trap number by Vegas. So
I don't trust that. Yeah, I don't like that. I stayed away from it.
But I'm surprised nobody took the bait. I almost did.
Yeah. AJ Brown might not play. Yeah, I actually like that. I like that for New England. I think talk about getting hot at the right time. They're hot right now. So
I feel like that's a lot of points, though. I don't know. Vegas, that's a stay away game.
They always know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean that New England defense has performed, and I mean Ryan Tannehill looked terrible last week. Terrible.
He did.
So, and that was against the Texans defense. Now going into New England, boy, yeah, I like that. I like that. +7, -7 for New England. I like that a lot. But let's get into fantasy locks. Boom. That's what happened last week. Sean, he eclipsed me. Sean, you've been killing it with the running backs.
Storming back.
You've been killing it with the running backs. And, I mean, everyone else, terrible. Daniel Jones was terrible, but, I mean, Dak, man. That's rough. That's rough. I'm sorry, Joe.
Yikes.
Sorry. Yeah, that's what, Joe. That's your problem with this. I mean, you always double dip on the teams. Like, yeah. I mean, when you were going up against the Jaguars, you'd always pick the quarterback and the team, and then somehow the Jaguars would do something. Now, you mean with Dak,
he's doing it again this week.
He is doing it again this week, but not the quarterback this time, Devontae Smith.
Yeah. Devontae Smith's going to have his Deshaun Jackson moment against the Giants in this game. Some kind of like 99-yard touchdown or some cuckoo something or other is going to happen. We're all going to learn to hate Devontae Smith this week forever.
Oh. I'm not.
I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe it's a reverse. Maybe it's who knows. Maybe he throws a pass to Jalen Hurts. Something's going to happen, and Giants fans will forever hate the name Devontae Smith.
Hey, but they are going to have Xavier McKinney on him. If anyone knows Devontae Smith, it's going to be like Diggs or McKinney. Give him the stop. So, hey. But
why is that? Because they went to college together?
Yeah. The practice.
And so you think that gives him some sort of insight, perhaps? Or
yeah.
Better than not going to practice against them every day.
Yeah.
Maybe you're right. I don't know. What do I know? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's some sort of new strategy that people are employing. You get the guy's teammate and you. Yeah.
I don't know. But
help me out here. Help me out.
Sticking with that game. Zay went with Jalen Hurts. I mean, I do think if anyone is good, like I mentioned earlier, I think it is Jalen Hurts in the run game and Miles Sanders that are going to be the problems for the Giants. So,
Zay was butthurt over my talk about the Giants earlier, and he takes Jalen Hurts. See what I did there? That was pretty good. And he takes Jalen Hurts against the Giants. Shame on Zay is what I say.
I don't think anyone was butthurt about you talking about the Giants. I think
he was very upset. He left.
No, it was you talking about is your dynasty
off the set.
It's your dynasty talk. But all right, Sean, you got Dalvin Cook going into the San Fran or Santa Clara to get it done.
Yeah, I got to stick with the running backs. After the first couple weeks, I thought I might not even just do picks on fantasy locks every week because I was getting crushed. But now I'm in third place. I'm only 20-something points behind Joe and Zay, so got to stick with the running back strategy. Dalvin Cook, he's been heating up the last 3 games. He's been playing really well. And the 49ers aren't great against the run, so I expect him to feed him the ball a lot, and I expect him to give me a lot of points. And maybe I'm just going to win best bets and fantasy lock this year. Knock on wood. So, Dalvin, let's do it, bud.
I mean, if Zay, Joe, and I continue to have the performances that we had last week, maybe.
Last week was big for me. Big catch-up week.
It's huge. But I don't think so this week. I'm going Russell Wilson at Washington. I know he struggled since coming back. I think this is where he starts to get things going.
All right, well, yeah, looks like Jace is staying in fourth, huh?
No. I mean, I've if there's not been a team I've been more right about than the Seahawks, I'll say that. I said
it's the Redskins
before the season started,
or the Potato Skins, or whatever their name is.
Before the season started, I said the Seahawks would struggle this year. They wouldn't make the playoffs because every team around them got better and they stayed the same. But, I mean, Washington, they played great the past couple weeks. Big win against Tampa Bay. Is it a big win against Carolina? But I don't know. But, I think Russell Wilson, I think this is his get-back game. I don't necessarily I don't think it's going to be too crazy what he does. I don't think he's going out there for 500 yards and 8 TDs. I do think he will just get back to Russell Wilson.
Who were you trying to convince, us or yourself?
I'm trying to convince the fans that they should start Russell Wilson this.
Mm-hmm.
That's what fantasy locks are about, Joe.
Good.
Yeah.
I was just asking.
It's about
an
the
honest
people,
question.
Joe.
It's about the people.
It's an honest question.
Russell Wilson bounce back.
That's a good pick. I like
Joe,
Big Russ.
Of course you do. You're the reason we have to pick. We can only pick one guy. He's the reason we can only pick one guy once.
That is true.
Like every other week last year, you picked Russell Wilson.
I like Russ.
All right. That's going to do it for John about the G-Men this week. It's been a wild show. But make sure you guys have a happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. Stay safe.
Is that
have
tomorrow?
fun with your families. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Today is Wednesday, Joe.
I have plans.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope you're not just sitting watching just football.
Watching Lions Bears by yourself. Tim Boyle versus Andy Dalton. What a matchup.
Tim Boyle weighs 1 touchdown to 13 TDs at UConn, and now he's starting in the NFL. That's
anything is possible.
Anything is possible. Yeah.
Dream big, people.
Yeah. But on the biggest game of the year for Detroit, Thanksgiving.
Oh, I'm thankful for one more thing.
Yeah.
For you guys.
Thanks. I appreciate
You touched my heart there, Joe.
Yeah. I'm thankful for this show as well. Just coming here like Giants Anonymous. I keep saying it. I'm here to just vent your frustration about the Giants.
It's a Giants venting room.
Yeah. Other people, they know the struggles. They know how you feel. And yeah.
If that were the case, you would be on the 2nd step, and I'm on the 10th. I'm at acceptance.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. You'll get here.
Probably. No,
You'll
just turn everything.
I'm in the middle between both of you.
Yeah.
I just don't loom.
He's still in the denial stage over here.
Maybe. I don't know.
He's like, all we need is one more good lineman, and I swear to God, 13.
No,
wins.
yes. I mean, I'm still holding to that. All we need is one lineman you can run behind.
Trivia question for this week. The winner gets a prize. When was the last game the Giants scored 30 points?
The offense, or when did they score just in total?
When's the last time they added up 30 points over? No. When's the last time the Giants scored 30 points in a singular game?
Last year against the Cowboys.
Cowboys, yeah.
What date was that?
That was the first
week 5. It was the week Dak got hurt.
Yeah.
When's the last time the Giants scored 40 points?
Against the when they were the Redskins. Washington. 2018, 2019.
When's the last time the Giants scored 50 points?
I don't think that doesn't sound possible. It's probably happened before. I can't remember.
Against
I know they blew out the Vikings in the NFC Championship.
Like the 2000? Baltimore Colts and
I think that was like 40,
47,
44 nothing. What I think that Vikings beatdown was.
I think it's 49 nothing. Yeah.
Somebody looked that up. That was a great day.
All right. No, don't look it up. We need to close out the show.
Close it out.
Okay.
Listen, the longer that you leave things open, the more you set me up to keep on talking.
You're right. Okay. All right.
41 nothing. Giants won.
All right.
41 nothing. That was glad we looked it up.
Big shout out to CTBB Realty and Jess Rydell. Make sure if you're in the market for a house in Connecticut, make sure you hit them up. Check them out and tell them Clovecrest Media sent you. Big shout out to Mosquito Shield. Make sure you sign up for their services. Tell them Clovecrest Media sent you and they'll get you a discount. And big shout out to JPEX Financial Group. And big shout out to Clovercrest Media Group. Make sure you go to www.clovercrestmedia.com. Check out more information on not just this podcast, a bunch of other podcasts, bunch of other great CMG sports podcasts, like we mentioned, Throwing Jabs earlier. Sean, we're on Posting Up together if you're a basketball fan. Joe, I know you talked a lot about global warming. You can catch Joe talking about that on Losers Pay Double, the political show. So make sure you check out www.clovercrestmedia.com to check out and get all your podcast needs. And hey, if there's a subject we're not talking about and you want to, come and join the podcast family and start your own podcast. But for myself, Big Jace, Joe Aguirre, and Sean Scanlon, have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next week to talk more Giants football.
Happy
Peace out.
Thanksgiving.
The Giants are running New York like the Times as Danny is dropping all sorts of dimes. Saquon's thighs are ruining defenses' lives and Leonard Williams making opposing QBs feel him. Receivers think it's scary to line up across James Bradbury, and the Giants have a bright future led by Coach Judge, Jury, and Executioner. Tune in to Drawing About the G-Men every Wednesday at 6, live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Hello, my name is Joe Aguirre. I'm the president of Clovercrest Media Group. And here at CMG, we have a wide variety of podcasts, including sports shows like Keys to the City, The Roll Call, Throwing Jabs, All Four Downs, and Jawing About the G-Men. And great true crime shows like Sticky Week, Crimes and Consequences, Ivy League Murders, and Burn, the unsolved murder of David Eichmann. You can find all these podcasts and so much more by visiting clovercrestmedia.com.